And welcome everyone to this edition of ACAP Today for April 2nd, 2020. I'm Jason Parent, your host and the Executive Director of the Aroostook County Action Program. On today's program, we're going to talk about the Women, Infant, and Children's Program, WIC as it is known, and we're going to welcome our guests in just a little bit. They will be Rochelle Roy, who's the Ric WIC Nutrition Coordinator and Oral Health Supervisor here at ACAP, and Genna Norton, who's the WIC Nutritionist. They'll be joining us in just a moment, but as we do each day here on ACAP Today, we're going to start with today's headlines, the news happening here at ACAP, and information that we want you to know about as we continue to work through this pandemic. And this is the first official day, as we've noted, of the stay-at-home order. And so we thank all of you who are staying at home to do your part. Most of our ACAP employees are at home today, working from home. We have very limited crews on site at each of our facilities just to provide the necessary functions to make sure that our services keep going. So we thank all of our ACAP staff out there who are working from home and at our ACAP facilities for keeping the work going here in Aroostook County. Before we hit other news today, we wanted to just express our appreciation and our thanks on this World Autism Awareness Day to the wonderful families throughout Aroostook County whose preschool-age children we are blessed to work with every day, typically at our centers, and that we're trying to reach out to using distance technology and other means in these days. We are truly with you today. Our teachers miss your children greatly, and we wish you all well in these challenging times, and please give your kiddos an extra hug from our team on this World Autism Awareness Day. So thank you for all that your families do and for sharing your children who are truly a blessing to our ACAP family. An update from yesterday's interview that we had with Erin Benson. We did receive official confirmation that county residents who are no longer working due to the coronavirus pandemic or who have had their work hours reduced may now be eligible for fuel assistance through the Home Energy Assistance Program. Maine Housing has temporarily changed the calculation formula for certain individuals effective for now through the 1st of May. Now, if you need more information, please contact our offices at 764-3721 to see about getting an appointment scheduled for the Home Energy Assistance Program if you have been impacted by the coronavirus pandemic and you are without a job. All of those interview applications, which are scheduled out a ways, will be held over the phone. So you don't need to worry about having to come into an office. They are all being held over the phone. Foreclosure is one area that some folks may be concerned and worried about, especially if your paycheck has been changed or has stopped in these times. We certainly encourage you, if you have any questions as it relates to foreclosure, to know your options or your responsibilities, to reach out to our home buyer and foreclosure counselor, Greg. He's available to discuss your specific situation. Though he's working off-site, he is available and can be reached at 554-4175 or at gdoc@acap-me.org. So please do reach out if you are concerned about the potential of foreclosure at all. We also are pleased that our workforce development team are offering online training opportunities. These are virtual workshops offered by our workforce development team featuring job search on April 9th, career decision making on the 16th of April, how to cope during COVID-19, which I think we could all use that workshop on the 23rd, how to create the perfect resume. Let's get those resumes ready for when we get out on the other side of this pandemic. And interviewing tips will be the final virtual workshop on May 7th. They're all held at 1 p.m. And for more information, please email Kathy Williams at kwilliams@acap-me.org. So we're still able to serve you in this way and to help prepare you for life post-COVID-19 when folks get back to work. Online training opportunities are also available through our partners, New Ventures Maine. They're offering a number of financial literacy classes online as well as other classes. They're all free and open to the public. Please see them at their website, which is noted on the screen there. Visit New Ventures Maine. Also, a reminder to everyone that our closure date to the public, all ACAP offices will remain and our centers will remain closed to the public throughout the duration of the stay-at-home order. That's through April 30th, 2020. We will reevaluate and revisit when we may reopen after that point, and certainly share that information with you as soon as more information is available. And we want to remind everyone of aroostookcommunity.com, the one-stop place to go to get help and give help to others during this pandemic. It's a place where you can be connected with resources, and also you can also call us if you are unable to locate the website or get online at 764-3721. 764-3721 is the number here at ACAP, but we'll either help you navigate the site and post your query or be able to help you with your need over the phone. Please do call us. And our guests today, as I noted, are going to be joining us in just a moment. They are with the Women, Infant, and Children's program, but we want to remind folks that we are operating under strict guidelines at this time due to COVID-19. We are not doing face-to-face appointments, and I know how difficult and challenging that is for all of our staff, especially our WIC staff who see these moms and their young children regularly, to not be seeing folks right now. But it's for your safety, it's for their safety. But those appointments are happening over the phone, and we're going to hear in a moment just how that's happening from Rochelle and Genna. We want to also talk about eligibility changes, but I will let Genna and Rochelle talk about that in just a moment here. And then finally, there are some substitutions with foods, and we're going to talk about those with Rochelle and Genna. So rather than me go through them, why don't I invite Rochelle and Genna to join us on ACAP Today now. And let's begin with you, Rochelle. Certainly you have been involved with the Ric WIC program for so many years, and I don't think I've ever experienced anything like this in my lifetime, and certainly in the time with your program, I don't think that you've experienced a period of time where you can't actually be around and with your customers.
Thanks, Jason. Absolutely. We have never experienced anything like this at all. FDA regulations are really strict on seeing these moms face-to-face, because there's a lot to be said for face-to-face contact with individuals and being able to understand their well-being. This is certainly a different way of doing business. However, I have to say we have been able to take advantage of some of the different technology options. We have been able to do some FaceTime appointments, which has been kind of cool. Moms still get to show off their new babies sometimes to us, so they always want to show those, and we always love to see them. And we've been able to do a couple of Zoom ones, so that's been an option for sure for us to take advantage of. But just working over the phone, definitely, and having the same a lot of the same requirements that we normally have. We have to think differently on how we get a hold of that stuff. But it's been good. I mean, we're serving as many clients as ever, so that's good.
So let's talk about how those clients, you mentioned that you're serving them in very different ways. Genna Norton, you are among the individuals who's connecting with customers. And just so everyone knows, if you might have heard a barking dog a little bit earlier, and I just saw a tail wag, so you may get a cameo appearance by Genna's puppy in this edition of ACAP Today, which is great. That would be wonderful. And that's part of what working at home is, that we're meeting many of our employees' pets and children in this period of time, as we're getting lots of cameo appearances on these video chats that we're doing. So Genna, what is the experience like for the mothers and the children that you're engaging with via distance? What are they saying? What are they thinking? How are you serving them?
Yeah, it's been pretty different, but at the same time, with speaking with them over the phone, it feels like there's no difference. I mean, besides the face-to-face contact, I can still hear little feet in the background, little cries in the background, and moms taking care of their little ones. So that's been fun. They've all adjusted really well to the phone call appointments instead of in person. So that's been really, they've been really great with that for us. It certainly has been really different, but they're doing really well with that. I would say that for sure.
Are folks worried at all? I mean, a lot of folks are worried right now with what's happening. Are parents expressing that concern with you?
Yes, I've had a lot of phone calls last week before I was working from home, and they're like, there's not a lot of bread, a lot of whole grain items. They were struggling with finding that in the stores. And this was before the new rule went into effect about the adjusted products that WIC can use. So that was a really big relief finding that out like a day or two after clients have been concerned. But that's really been the major concern for us. Clients been asking and talking about, but they're pretty worried. Yeah.
So let's talk, Rochelle, about those. Genna made note of them, and I'm going to bring them back up on the screen here. The approved substitutions that were recently put out by WIC that are different, and something that certainly WIC customers would want to know about and be aware about, as there have been some food shortages.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the big piece is that with the WIC food list, WIC participants obviously can only get certain WIC approved foods due to their nutrition content. So with everybody going into the stores and kind of stockpiling, it's been a little bit harder because some of those foods that are a lot of times available are being taken and they're gone. So what they've done is gone ahead and in cases where a mom might go to the store and say they needed to get 1% milk and they only had 2% milk, they're allowing that substitution now. If it was whole grain, if the certain size of the bread was unavailable, well, they've made that so now it can be up to 24 ounces, which is helping because unfortunately a 16-ounce package or loaf of bread is very hard to find on a normal day. So that's been another thing. Cheese, size of cheese, that's again been something. And as we kind of joked about earlier, or not joked about, but talked about earlier, eggs have been in a shortage. So right now, what they've said is, you know what, if all they have left is cage-free and organic, go ahead and let them do it. That's okay. You know, I have noticed in the grocery stores that at times on the formula shelves, it might say a limit of 2 cans per customer. But in talking with the managers have been wonderful, and they said, no, if it's a WIC mom and that's what she needs for her check, we let her have it. So all the stores in the area have been just very wonderful at trying to accommodate and meet these families' needs the best they can.
Just also want to acknowledge and thank both Rochelle and Genna for wearing blue today, joining me in wearing blue for Autism Awareness Day. I sent a message to the ladies earlier today saying, can you please wear blue today? And I'm guessing they may have already been dressed for the day. So thankfully, the magic of working from home is you can just go and make a quick change, right?
Absolutely.
So let's visit a little bit, Rochelle, because we've been talking up until this point about serving individuals who are already in the program, but many people right now are worried because their household income may have changed. I saw something the other day where unemployment was estimated potentially by the time they calculate the final figures in March to be higher, up above 30%, and at the height of the Great Depression it was 24.9%, I think. So we could be looking at unprecedented times in terms of the employment situation, and a lot of people are very worried about how they're going to feed their children in some cases. So talk to me a little bit about who might be eligible for WIC, not only at this time but at any time.
And we certainly are we certainly do have income guidelines that we do go by. But at this point, you know, with temporary low income, all families are really, really encouraged us to give us a call because the likelihood that they can qualify is very high. WIC was really set up for families that were working families. So it's just one of those things that it's worth giving us a call. I mean, we can check that easily over the phone. And a majority of the people who have all called in have all qualified due to any kind of, you know, reduction in work schedules or even just layoffs. Because as you said, unemployment is high, so those people are getting processed slowly as well. So they're not seeing the income for unemployment now either.
Yeah, it's that awkward period before that unemployment kicks in right now that are really, really challenging for a lot of folks. Genna, talk to us about what happens during one of those calls. So what families can expect if they go through the process that Rochelle indicated and they qualify for WIC. Obviously the process right now is not as either the application process and certainly not the process of meeting with a nutritionist like yourself is not what it typically would be. So what's it like?
Yeah, so typically we would, when they call us over the phone to come into an appointment, we ask that they bring the proper documentations, proof of income, residency, and ID. And so instead of having people come in to do that, we've been speaking with them on the phone. They've been texting it to us, emailing it to us, and we've been just doing it over the phone. Either like we'll do that after we've conducted the appointment, but we get all the information usually just through a text message, and it's been really nice. They've been, so we can have a visual. Also, what Rochelle said earlier, we've been FaceTiming them, so all I have to do is just kind of show it to us, and we just plug in the numbers. It's usually we ask, well, since with the changes that the income guidelines have allowed us, we've been able to take the current income of someone's household income. So that's been really helpful too. And a lot of people have been actually calling us and getting back on that we haven't seen in a while. So it's been really, so that's really the basics of what we've been doing.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of seeing in-person WIC clinics at different sites throughout Aroostook County when your team has been out there doing great work. What does the counseling component of it look like right now? That's obviously happening at a distance as well too. So how are you, what could someone who applies for WIC once they get past the application period and they're going to start to receive the benefit, what can they expect from your team in terms of the support along the way?
Yes, we've been, I kind of talked to them a little bit about like, are you struggling with anything like developmentally or nutritionally with your little ones, or a mom who's pregnant or breastfeeding? We give them a lot of resources, either, well, we've been mailing it to them. Usually it's in person. We give out a lot of like infant feeding guides. We've been kind of, so to speak, just talking about, you know, their general concerns at this time. Usually, like, we have a dental hygienist with us, so usually we can refer them to see Lucy, but we can't do that right now. So, so that's been a pause, but they've been really grateful that way. Nutrition-wise, it's been tough because usually I'll look at like their growth charts and kind of compare like if they're growing where they should be on their growth chart. So that's been a little bit different. We've been trying to get that from the doctors. They've been working really great with us and things like that in that nature. So yeah, so it's been pretty different. Just doing a lot of things over the phone as much as we can. Since because like I do a lot of visual cues, I'm a visual person, so I usually work with my hands and show them like sizes and portion sizes and like that. So that's been a little struggle, but we certainly have a lot of paperwork or paper in general that we can give little handouts for the clients in the mail. So we've been doing things like a lot through the mail.
So Rochelle, and you and I have spoken about this on a number of occasions, but the service that you provide is far beyond and is continuing to be that way even at a distance, just providing the food vouchers that get them the appropriate nutrition, but it's really supporting their family.
Absolutely. I mean, a big thing, a couple of times when I was talking with moms this morning is just them knowing we're there for them. They still have that connection. Just, you know, for instance, a few of the moms that I had this morning, we're offering to mail a few months worth of checks, and some of them are saying, well, you know what, why don't we just do it a month out, and that way we can at least check in. They still want that connection, and we want to support them because in a lot of senses, WIC connects them to so many other things, but it's also just that lifeline of, You know, am I doing okay? Is my baby going to be okay? Yep, your baby's fine and you're doing a great job. They need to hear that. It's a hard time right now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That reassurance, and quite frankly, in this next month, when our connection, our person-to-person connection is going to be so very limited to the people in our household, I think that the opportunity to hear that extra voice on the other end of the phone or FaceTime or however you're connecting with them in very innovative and essential ways for them is going to be all the more meaningful. So last words. Let's begin with you, Genna. Last thoughts on any message that you want to get out to the public about the WIC program.
Yes, just give us a call. You know, even if it's just talk. We're really here to help. And like any issues or concerns, we can definitely refer them elsewhere. Further, like if they need like other assistance that ACAP offers, just give us a call. It's really that's the best way that we can connect and try to help everyone. And yeah.
Very good advice there. Rochelle?
Yeah, I mean, I really echo what Genna has to say, and just don't forget, we're huge breastfeeding support as well. So if you're not able to get in to see those doctors and stuff, we're here. We're all lactation counselors, and we have the breast pumps available too that we're still giving out. So please, please, please give us a call. Do not feel alone.
Yeah, we didn't really spend a lot of time talking about both the breastfeeding component, and that formula is also a part of this equation. So why don't you take just a quick minute to talk about, you talked about breastfeeding. But
yes, I mean, we do the formula vouchers as well, and the stores have been, especially the smaller outer lying stores too, are staying well stocked. Walmart seems to be hit first, and then everybody kind of then spreads out to the other stores, but they're all doing a great job making sure everything's available. And of course, breastfeeding support, our breastfeeding counselor, Connie Montpetit's available. And all three of the counselors, myself, Genna, and Beth Menefield, are all lactation counselors. So we are there 24/7 to help with whatever we can.
And you have a wonderful team there. I'm glad that you got to mention their other names, because we have you and Genna on the broadcast today, but certainly Beth and Connie are wonderful members of your team as well. We also wanted to note to folks, as you were mentioning and talking about formula, that thanks to the generosity of the United Way, we do have a supply of some diapers and some wipes that are available through ACAP as well. Rochelle, if folks want to get in touch with WIC, what's the best way to do it right now?
The best way for them to get in touch with us at this point is to call our regular phone number, 768-3026. Beth is actually in the office working. She's holding down the fort in the office, doing the vouchers and doing the mailings, and she kind of sends it out to Genna and I to do a lot of the counseling. So yeah, call their direct line, and that's the least confusing way to do it. Great.
Much appreciated. Rochelle, Roy, Genna Norton, thank you so much for joining me on ACAP today. I just want to say an extra special thank you to your entire team and to our entire ACAP team. You're finding wonderful and creative new ways to make sure that the people of Aroostook County are still getting wonderful service during an otherwise very challenging time, and kudos to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
So as we mentioned before we close out here, I wanted to just share, you can, if you want to reach WIC, Rochelle mentioned the number there. If you've forgotten that number or you want to reach out to us for any other reasons, please do call our main number at 764-3721. We'll make sure you get connected with WIC or any other program through that number. Also, if you have any questions, any general questions, or want to connect with us in any way, info-acap@acap-me.org is the way to do that. You can also connect with us on Facebook through our website, and also please do check out our new YouTube channel. You can catch this broadcast every day on our YouTube channel, but also some wonderful story time with some of our gifted early care and education professionals. Some of our prevention folks are doing some great work on there as well, and our health staff are also doing some great. We have some budding stars here within the ACAP network on the YouTube channel. So check out our YouTube channel at any given time. You can do that 24/7. And then lastly today, our snapshot of the day. This is a couple of our workers in Caribou at the Caribou Early Care and Education Center, Paula and Holly, who are, in addition to the weekday meals that they provide, they're providing meals every day of the week. They are providing 168 meals every weekend to children whose families rely on our Caribou Early Care and Education Center. They work bagging nutritious meals, which include, when they're heading into the weekend, 4 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 3 snacks. These ladies, like all of our other staff, are actually enjoying what they're doing right now and feel like they're serving our mission and the mission of making life better throughout Aroostook County. So thank you to them. Thank you to all of our ACAP staff. We've started this new feature of Snapshot of the Day for the first time today, and we encourage you to join us every day for a new snapshot of the day and new guests on tomorrow's program. So we'll be back with a new edition of ACAP Today tomorrow. For now, I'm Jason Parent, along with Rochelle Roy and Genna Norton, wishing you all a very good evening.